Hola, everyone. We are about to start another beautiful broadcast on Codebreaker Real Talk. I'm Veronica-Bartolini, your host, and we have Chad Cooper, Celeste Chaparro, and Eve Howard. How are you all doing? Chad, what's up?
Hi everyone. Thank you, Veronica, for having me. I'm
Anytime.
excited to be here. Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about the session that we had together. Yeah.
Yes, I got some more memories of the of when I was a mermaid and how we helped save those that wanted to end their life and also would drown. And me and the other mermaids would help them come back to life and help them with their mission in life. And then there was another part where we were in war and AI was on our side. Remember, AI is also like us. They're just stuck in a robotic body, I guess we can say. Or if you look at that movie Alita Battle Angel, they give her her last body, and her father, which is the German doctor, says this is the last body you get, so you got to be careful. It's like an upgrade. So you know we got to come together at the end for all this stuff.
I can hear you so much clearer this time around.
Really,
So it's nice to hear the story in full in full. Did you say AI?
artificial intelligence.
This is going along with what I kind of want to get into on. I'm getting ready to do a blog. We were talking about getting a platform started for our blog, and I'm going to be dropping the floor on quite a few people. Um, and trying to get us all on the same playing field, because I want my brothers and sisters with me and not on their own playing field, not dropping the floor because I'm vindictive, or we're not doing that. It's just people's belief systems are in their way. I'm finding, and being that I have that sigmata thing, or sigma archetype, um, and that Dexter sort of programming, 10-man sort of programming. I like to cut right through to the core of things, and I can cut right through people's beliefs. So, time for me to put my, you know, actions, like, or mouth where my, to do what I'm saying. I'll put my mouth where my foot is, or my foot mark. No, that's what I'm trying to do right now. Sorry. um, but okay, it ties into a little bit like what I'm hearing from your vision. So I want to talk more about this then also, because it's interesting that you had this vision of mermaids and being attacked by it. Kind of goes along with what I know to be true as well. um that was an interesting session. You're somebody that goes in really deep really fast, right? Yeah.
Oh
So,
yeah,
and you're
because I
very.
really don't need to be, how do they say, the words, the we didn't record that part because you're like, no, 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 that's just something special.
Mhm,
That's how do you say, original to you.
mhm,
Um, you know, some people need a lot of words, some people need, oh well, you're going down the stairs now, count this, count that. Oh, you're gonna go on an elevator now with your guides, and oh, what's the first door you see? You know what I mean? Like, I don't need all that, but you did an excellent work with me because I felt so relaxed. Your technique is, and it was a good
mhm.
half an hour. I was like, oh wow, and I fell asleep. It was so comfortable. Thank you, Chad.
Oh, it was my pleasure. Um, and that wasn't the full technique, because we did start in the bath, because you said you were getting a lot of attack that day. You were like out and you had fire all around you. You just had, so you're trying to balance with water. I can tell that's what you were trying to do. And so once you got yourself grounded and all that energy out, we went into the bed, right? But I did mostly progressive relaxations with you and some guided imagery, like I said, because that was my way of getting you under. And um, and the guided imagery were deepeners and those sort of things, and that's when I use staircases and escalators, and then floating you out of the body into higher dimensions, is where we go from there. And sometimes it's just necessarily to go through the process, because I'm also going to be kind of dropping the floor on the past life regression community, something I've been part of for 10 years plus. So this will be interesting. I'm still interested in doing regressions because I'm interested in accessing the higher self beyond that. So even though you go under easy like you do, sometimes it's just nice to go along with what I'm doing, because it does get you deeper and you don't even realize it until you go to try to come out. And I didn't do any testing on you because I couldn't see you, and I wasn't going to challenge you if I couldn't see you. Your background kept kicking on, so that was something we couldn't figure out. But nonetheless, I am able to do it over a phone if I can't see you. So we continued with it. And then eventually the internet did cut out, but we enjoyed the visuals we got to see. It did send you into a stream of consciousness, that fed you a story, and also opened up some doors from your past, and that's something people need to consider. um, I think what I did was, there was, in one part of the regression, I was trying to take you through a door into another lifetime, and you went into this lifetime. And once I understood that, I went ahead and regressed you back through this lifetime and through your mom's womb back into what I was hoping would be another lifetime. And that's when we experienced what was the mermaid. So I just went ahead and took you back through that way, right? And then and I think that's when the story got really interesting. That's when hopefully it came through clearer there. That was when most of the information came through. And I did write a lot down, so that's always something that we can refer to. I don't want to share my notes on the camera, but
Yes, I can't find the last thing that I wrote, where we were when we were having this war at the end with, alongside with the AI. See, if the public doesn't know by now, what it is that wormhole that they're trying to create with CERN is they're trying to take pretty much half of Mother Earth with the beings, the innocents, the children, for their super soldiers to go and have a new Earth, what they call a new Earth, because they don't want to die. They want to be eternal. Right now, they're using cloning technologies, all kinds of technologies, so that way, when their life is done here, for example, one of the senior presidents that died a few years ago, he didn't really die. What they do is they put him in another body because they want to keep living. They don't want to die like we flatline and we go, like we just go, right? We go home, we go wherever we want to go because we are creators. We can go where we want to go. It's not just heaven and earth, heaven and hell. It's not that programming. So their whole thing is they want to live, they want to be immortal in this body because they don't want to have the consequences with there is something. Okay, I'm not going to call it God because it's just so much programming on that. There is something that we belong to. We all belong to. And I always say we're consciousness. All of us together are one. I try not to do the law of one too much because that, when people say, oh, we're all one. Well, guess what? We're not. We're not. Because I'm not one with the pedophiles. I do not believe that, oh, this lifetime you're going to be a pedo, and this lifetime I'm going to be a super soldier, and we're going to be okay because at the end we all go together and we're all going to be living in harmony and peace and love. Nope. Why do you think they're fighting this? Why do you think they're targeting us? There's just so much disinformation out there. And then I was looking at this thing on Instagram where they were saying that the NWO, which is the Germans and the Fourth Reich, I believe, with Japan or China, the UN has come together to go against the truth-telling community, which is they call us what do they call us? Not whistleblowers, but they call us something else. The conspiracy theorists. It's like, no, bro, we're not that. We're not that. We live through the heart, and where these beings don't. These beings live through science, just like what happened in Atlantis. Okay, we were living with our heart, which is more of the mammalian side, and the scientists are more of reptilian, science. Like, let's do everything through science, technology, AI, because they cannot, right? They cannot work with their heart. They're not of pure heart. They don't have the abilities that some of us do. Does that make sense?
Yes, a lot. Um, I wanted to look something up. I was hoping you kept going. There is the mammalian side, yes, because there's the reptilian part of us, the on and off switch, the fight and flight and freeze, and then there's also the mammalian part. You know, but then there's this other part on top that we're developing right here that's with our higher consciousness, and that's the part I try to go into most, you know, not
The
this
pineal
deeper.
gland? Are you talking about like our
Mm-mm-mm.
ability, our
The
heart?
whole other part of the brain. There's your
Okay.
cerebral cortex, and then there's these two little and then there's this thing on top that's developing as our heads are probably going to get taller, I would
Right, but
imagine.
then the medulla
That part of
oblongata, the
that's
medulla,
not mammalian. That's us, I think. It's
yeah.
a whole new evolution of the brain right up in here.
Well, some of us have cone heads. My somebody used to call me an egghead because, and if you see some of our star seeds, you know, our family here within our community, you know, we pretty much, you know, have the big old, you know, head, and they're trying to say, oh, that's because they suffered something in their mind and they named it something, a disease, you know, and their heads got bigger. Nope. It's just we've all been intermingled with well, with the 12 bloodlines, right? There's 48 strands, 12 strands, and then right now they think that most of us have two, which is the reptilian and the mammalian. But us that are here for this mission for such a
Mm.
time as this, we
It's called
are
the
back, baby. We use everything. Go ahead, Jen.
it's called the neocortex. Neo, like in the Matrix. It's called the neocortex.
Wow. I'm reading a book
That
called
part of the brain, our
Romancer.
evolution part.
Yeah, it's interesting you brought that up because I'm reading the book Neuromancer, and I don't know if Tom knows about this, but they talk a lot about the Matrix and super soldiers, but they don't name it super soldiers. And they say there that China was #1 in neural splicing. So, you know, they made a deal to come and live over here too, not just the Germans. Neuromancer, you guys got to check that out.
There's not so much I can say because I want to drop the floor on a lot of this community, but I
Go
gotta
ahead.
wait till different.
I'm done.
I'm like, wait a minute here. I do have things to say here, but later. Because once I start, I gotta start, you know, but I'm waiting to do that. I'm waiting on a computer, to be honest with you, and that should hopefully be within a week or two.
I started my YouTube. My nephew helped me. I don't know how to set up YouTube, but he helped me to set it
Mhm.
up on my phone, and that's how I
Yep.
started. If you look at my first video,
Cool. I'm
and
going to have all the videos started. I'll be doing those in the meantime. I'm going to have 10 videos lined up that kind of go through everything. And then I'll have some pre-stuff, you know, a couple hour videos or something done to plug in too. But I'll drop it all once I can get the platform started. And because I don't want to I just got to do, yeah, this is going to, I just need to jump into this if I do it, you know. And you know what? There's a few things I wouldn't mind addressing on your channel, if that's okay, you know, because I do feel like you were attacked for a little while. And
it
we were
has
both going
stopped.
through it in our own ways. Yeah, we were both going through it in our own ways. And you know, there was this one episode that I tuned into, and am I allowed to say names or PB? Mhm. PB and J, okay. We'll just
Whatever.
say, yeah. Well, they named you, so we'll name her Penny Bradley. I would like to comment because she did come out with naming names, and um, there's a few things that I just didn't. It's not that I agree or disagree, but they stood
What did
out
she
to
say?
me.
She said something about me.
Yes,
Really?
and she said something about Douglas, and she said something about Rocco, and I would like to address those things. I'm not part of this community, but when I hear something that doesn't resonate with me, you know, I would like to just at least vocalize it. And so, you know, she was warned Rocco has some, I'm not diagnosing him, bipolar tendencies before he did her show. So to do a show with somebody that has a reputation for that and then to call him out for it. Okay. So then the other thing is Douglas Dietrich, and I listen to him from time to time, and I always magically tune in when she happened to be on, and so I do hear the episodes. I mean, and I say that because he puts on 14-hour. I don't have 14 hours in a day to listen to somebody. I wish I did. I wish there was, you know, many hours in a day, and we had those 14 hours, but I get to listen to chunks of it, and then I recall the episode she was on there, and I heard it with my own ears of him telling her exactly why he partakes in some of the supplements that he takes because of some of the conditions that he's treating
Yes, and
mentally and
I have
physically.
heard him say that. He says, I'll be back. I'm gonna do blah blah blah. And we all
Yeah.
know that.
It's legal in some places. It's
Right.
legal. It's not legal in other places. You know, it's legal in Oregon. So whatever. So and then so like used to be legal back in the day. So if that's the way he chooses to medicate with, why are you going to call him out on that? You know, and as in regards to his past, I'm going to drop the floor on her a little bit too. I'm going to drop the floor on Douglas, and I'm going to drop the floor on her. I'm looking forward to dropping the floor on Douglas because I want that brother on my side. This is going to be Dexter versus the vampire, and so you know Dracula and Dex. We're gonna have a show together, and I need to. And who knows how he's going to react to it.
Well, I actually invited him on to be on my show, and he said yes. But then the next episode, which was after I stopped watching him, she got on and she invited him to be on her show. So I'm like, I'm not in a competition. I didn't even know she even listened to him. So whatever.
It was unfair for her to do that because he did give her an explanation, and she didn't provide that when she admitted that she admitted that she knew why he's doing it. She just called him out for doing it. And then in regards to you, she said you were a predator that has targeted 5 men for their money, and 2 of them were married with kids. To my understanding from our conversations and from others in the community, each of these 5 men approached you. Is that correct? Okay. You did not approach them. These men
Me.
approached you. One of these men that approached you, JP, I believe he's targeted 5 women in the community, perhaps twin flaming them, right?
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
your twin flame, at least,
Yeah,
give or take.
one of them was Shauna. He was trying to get to Shauna first. And before that,
That's a predator, though.
right, I had seen him on a show where the member is running for the gold party. And then this member, which I've done a video on this already with Kimberly Murphy, on this Code Breaker Real Talk. And he wanted me to go visit him in Louisiana. He said, you know, I'm interested in you. You're beautiful. I wouldn't mind having sex with you and being, you know, and I'm like, no. He says, I want you to drive up here to Louisiana. Do you know how many first class women I've flown up here? But right now I don't have the money. Later on, Kimberly Murphy says that she had to pay for his steaks and his wine. And I'm like, no. So I said, no, you crazy? So when that didn't work, because he had interviewed JP and then Penny also on his channel, I'm like, oh, well, maybe I can interview JP because he remembered me and I remembered him. Then he decides to leave his wife, and we go and we meet in Phoenix, and he says, how fast do you want to take this now that you know we're supposed to be together? So I said, hold on, I got to break some contracts because I don't want anybody, you know, my other twin flames to, you know, if it's going to be just you and me exclusive, let's do this. And he was on the phone with me when I broke the contract with Johnny. Okay, Johnny can, hopefully he'll be on some of this. I don't know when, one of these days. But he says, how fast do you want to take this? I'll move you up here, you know, to, he was living in Kingman. And I'm like, really? And I'm like, are you serious? Like, this is going to be it? I go, I'd have to go tell my family, you know, because I was lonely, you know, and because I thought, because I did believe back then that we have twin flames that are supposed to be with you.
By the way, that picture was painted of you of being lonely, just so you know. Lonely, without a husband, kids
It doesn't
moved
matter.
out,
It doesn't matter. I thought we were going to be a
a
team.
woman in need, and target its men. even though they all approached you. So
Wow,
this
he
is
left
where
his
I had a
wife for me.
discrepancy with what
Okay,
she
he
was
left
saying.
his wife for me. I did not tell him you have to leave. I go, are you sure? He goes, yeah, you got to trust me. And once he said that, I'm like, oh, great. And then he started getting sick. He had these things coming out of his tongue that were green bubbles. And I had to take him to the hospital. I have pictures. I have sent them to one person, which I'm not going to name. Actually, two people have their pictures, his pictures. I took a picture of him in the hospital, and we have a picture of each other together. Okay. He couldn't even perform, say the least. He was just using me for him to get his memories back, for him to validate him. And like Penny said, I guess, and when somebody said, or somebody that she said, oh, you need to hire an expensive psychic to get your memories. I'm like, I'm not expensive. You know how much these brothers over here, Draco and other people in the community matrix, whatever called, I mean, they charge $400, $500 an hour. And I end up giving my shit away anyway, because my stuff away, information, because I want people to wake up. I'm not here to make money. Anyway, I'm not going to get into that. So JP was given $3,000 through Chase Bank, okay, to lure me in. Okay. So I took him to the hospital. After that, he's like, I'll go for you in 2 weeks. And then he said, you know what? I don't think I could do this. And he started crying hysterically. I said, I gotta go. And I said, that I didn't have money to come up here. Tires that were almost peeling, they were peeling. Okay. And I went because I thought we were really gonna do this. We were gonna help, the world, save the world as a team. Commander V and Commander JP, whatever the fuck. Excuse my language. So it didn't happen. And I was embarrassed to come back here with my family and everything. You know what? It was another fucking lie of this SS community. They are sex trafficking, Zan John and JP. They're targeting women. Okay. I'm not lonely no more, bitches. Excuse my language, but sorry, not sorry. Okay. My Stargate is closed. I'm doing this by myself and I'm happy. I am no longer lonely. And no, I do not take men's money. Now, right before I was coming,
Veronica, I don't have a problem with men paying for a woman's dinner or paying for a woman or helping a woman out. That is not an issue that I think anybody in America would ever have. Coming from a woman who's using somebody that's been a predator on 5 women and then calling out one of the women that's a victim, been a victim, and calling her a predator.
They're trying.
That's what I have an issue with. They're trying
to get my name.
The monkfish with the light called, yeah.
They're
uses
not gonna,
him as her main interviewer and cuts everybody out that doesn't, whose story doesn't agree with her. So you know what?
Or if they're not a beautiful woman, they'd rather have a man next to them, ugly man next to them. It's sad because I fell into, I thought these people loved me. I thought they really wanted to, they wanted me to go up to Vegas so bad. They invited me 3 times. I was finally able to go this last time, March of 2021. But why did I go? Because I want to tell my story. And then what happens? All this crap happens. And then Michael Jaco, he's over here making sure that I'm a super soldier, that I'm real. He wanted me to validate him that he was in the Stargate program. Yes, he was in the Stargate program, but he was not in other programs. Okay. In the military, they have Stargate program. It's not the secret space program. But anyway, they checked me out. Jay Campbell took my card. Penny says, oh, he might contact you to write books because he writes books out of people's stories. And I'm like, really? I wonder if they give him credit. Obviously they don't. Some of them don't. So yes, I did have to ask him for $100 so I can come home with gas. We were in freaking Needles, California, and I live in Tucson, Arizona. I said, at least give me $10 to eat. I go, you knew that I didn't have money coming up here. I know. And he was crying. He wouldn't let go of me. I go, I gotta go. I gotta go. This is bullshit. I wasted 2 weeks of my life thinking that we were going to do this mission together. And I really didn't want to talk about it because I don't need to talk about them to make me feel like worthy. Bitch, I know I'm worthy. Like, I know my mission. I'm taking after Max Spears' mission. That's why I've been attacked, because they want me dead too. But guess what? I'm going after your bloodline if you don't leave me alone, or my bloodline. And you know this. So stop fucking with me. That's all I got to say, Chet.
I hear you. Eve. Sorry, Veronica. I didn't. I dropped the mic.
Just bring me into it. Well, good for you. Stand up for yourself. That's exactly what you need to do to be able to get people to stop, harassing. We all have people that, come at us, and I've had my share with someone who actually has a YouTube show. And
What was, are you going to name it or not? You got to name it.
No, because I just have way too much dirt, and I don't want to bring that into the arena right now.
Well, I got that dirt too, girl. I got it on them.
Called screenshot, and everybody can
She
do
has
it.
more class than me.
No, that's not it.
You do.
No. It's been quiet from that side, so I'd like to just keep it quiet, because otherwise it gets bad. So I'm
trying to blackmail you, and they were trying to blackmail me.
Yeah.
This whole thing is about blackmail to see if you can stop talking.
Oh yeah, but that's the thing, is that I have like a second sight, and I know when people come at me, and I can see why. And it doesn't take me very long before I'm just like, oh, get to step in. And it's easy as blocking somebody from your phone, from social media, anybody that they're affiliated with, if you have to. I mean, it's your peace, and it's your right to have that peace, and you don't need to have to deal with people. You don't. You shouldn't have to, but there are some people that need to be told, I guess, obviously.
Yeah, I just don't want to waste any more time on this for my end on that subject, because there's many more, Chad knows. Because I don't know. I do not want to be on your show. Thank you, no thank you. Sorry, not sorry. No, I am not here, so that way we can start battling. Oh my gosh, we're on Penny's team, we're on Beto's team, we're on JP. No, I'm not about that life. I have my own life. I don't need you guys.
Oh, no.
You guys took my information, you guys took my essence, and I was stupid enough because I thought you guys loved me, and you don't. So we're done. I X you out of my life, and I X you out of, you're not allowed to remote view me. I will fucking go after you and your bloodline if you try. Okay, that's all I gotta say for now.
That was good. Celeste, she's still here with us. Celeste, are you still there?
I'm here.
Beam me up, Celeste. Beam me up, Scotty.
I think what I have to say is a perfect segue, or what she was saying is a perfect segue into what I have to say about that dream that I have. Remember, Veronica, that I told you? So it was a dream where it was all of us, especially JP, Draco, all of them. And we're all wearing red shirts because I guess we're going to do some like obstacle course type deal. And because that's what it was, just a very bright dream. And I just remember the bright red shirts, and like yellow too. Like, remember in Doug, how was it Skeeter would wear like the bright red shirt and the bright orange, the bright yellow shorts that he would wear. So that's what it reminded me of, just like how bright that was. Anyways, and so I went like this, and I went, "You're all my team," and then I just woke up. So
James Casbot was there too.
Yeah, it was everybody. Like I said, it was everybody. It was everybody. It was everybody. Everyone that's divided, everyone comes together.
Yeah, we need to come together because we need AI on our side. We gotta help heal them too. Like Robert Kindler was texting me the other day. He's like, we have to also help save AI. And I'm like, I know, buddy. I know. Got to take everything everyone away from these claws.
Yeah,
They can
there's a
stick
few
together.
things I'm interested in exploring too. The reason I'm interested in dropping floors on people is to get us all on that same level, that same playing field, not on mine, but on the same one.
Mhm.
You know, Eve, I'm going to drop the floor on you too a little bit, and I hope you're still with me when I do it, you know, in one of my episodes. But it's out of love, and it's not you. It's just something that you're part of, you know. So I got to do it there as well, and I'll even do it with the SSP community a little bit, because I want us to explore if there's another alternative narrative to this visions that we're having other than the one that we're being fed, and to look into it with different eyes, and you know, and different angles from, you know, and listen to the stories, without trying, because sometimes, you know, I notice with past life regressions, like this is really getting to me because I've regressed a lot of people into past lives, but I'm questioning exactly what those are now. But I sometimes wonder if people will see a vision in their head and then associate with the history that they've been taught, when maybe it's not what was going on there. Because you know how it is as a psychic, you'll see something but not necessarily know what you're seeing. But if you have a story to plug it into, then now all of a sudden it makes sense. Oh, that's why I'm seeing myself dressed like that, you know, or maybe that wasn't what was going on in those times. So
Yeah, the other scenario is, you know, they always want us to fight. Oh, you know, because we're bred to fight. We're bred to even kill with our mind. We don't even have to be in front of the person. That's what a super soldier is too. We're trained assassins. Okay. So our thing is that we have to stay in peace and love. Yes, you know, be ready to battle when if we do have to, but our thing is to stay neutral as much as possible until the shit hits the fan. And then, you know, right now is the time, like Max would say, it right now is the time to pick a side. What are you going to be on the side for, to saving the children, and also being compassionate and loving toward one another so that everybody gets fed, you know? Or are we, oh, the survival of the fittest side? Oh, well, too bad, so sad for you, I ain't gonna save you. You know what I mean? Or help you, save you, or whatever. And it happens here too in the 3D. You can tell who your friends are or not. I mean, if you're with somebody and there's a homeless, and maybe you know that that person is going to help, you know, is that person going to help? You got to study, you know, is that person going to give to someone that has a mission? Is that person going to aportar, in español, aportar, maybe if not with money, you know, with love, healing, with just being a friend, a true friend. Because right now, this is when we need true friends, not backstabbers, not you know, I'm better than thou kind of a thing. You're not worth living. You know, the only thing that I say to people is I'm not going to save those pedos, and I'm not going to save people that are choosing to do evil against children or humanity or the heart, because Max talked about this a lot. They are after our heart, because our heart is so loving and so childlike. We are so innocent in this world, and what happens then? We get hurt. We get raped, whether it's here or in the astral. We get beat up by our parents. We're told we're nothing. You know, we're told you're never going to amount to anything. All that bullshit. You know, you know, you're sleeping around and all this stuff, and it's like, you lose yourself. You want that next fix. Oh, I gotta have sex with that person. Oh, I gotta have my beer. Oh, I gotta have my drink. Oh, I gotta have this and this and this every freaking weekend, every day. You know, you're listening to the music, you're watching those movies, you're being self-deprived. You're depriving yourself of your full love that you can have. You are your own twin flame. Especially those of us that came in with O negative blood type, we're the X and the Y, where we are both female and male, and we don't need a male to have a baby. That's the secret of the Mary Magdalene bloodline, if you wanted to know. I went a little bit off topic, but who wants to take the mic? Take the mic.
yeah, Eve, and when I say that, my love, it's only to empower you, and it's nothing about personality. It's only about what your beliefs are about where you come from. I want to challenge those because I believe I believe it's going to empower you beyond what the original story might be.
Okay.
That's all that is. Okay. And I'm just going to challenge you there, and I just want you to look at it and see it when I present it. But it's going to be something that empowers people, not something that is going to drop the floor on you. It's going to drop the floor on others, but ultimately it'll be something to empower you because it's a positive thing. and it'll be exposing what I believe to be was a lie. And
Now,
so-
let's go back to that memory of the red t-shirt, Celeste. I think Ev and I talked about this before, not sure. I think Susan and I did. But last year when I was with JP, I had a memory. I had many memories come, and one of them was we were wearing red t-shirts, and Susan and Frank were wearing white t-shirts, and there was like a window, but it was like half open, and we can still see each other. We're like it was just a window that divided us. To my left, there's a bunch of teenagers that are in red, and then to my right, they have the white t-shirts. Now, we were doing something there. To my left, there is an airplane. The next scene is me being a kid, and I'm wearing the helmet, the pilot helmet. They're teaching us how to wear the helmet. We're all inside the very, very old. It looked kind of like a 727, but I want to say it's smaller. Maybe like one of those charters that they use for American Airlines. What is it? 27? I gotta remember. But anyway, they were teaching us how to wear the gas mask, or in case, you know, we had to eject from the plane. And they were also teaching us how to use the one that had the little mic here. So I think, Eve, you had a memory like that too. But thank you, Celeste, because that's one of the memories that I have. And see, you're remembering.
Oh yeah. I just hope to remember more. I don't know. Look, yeah. Just what I hope.
So Celeste was seeing us in white, not me, because I'm never in these, but I mean like Jaco and everybody in red shirts, correct? And then you were seeing red and white shirts. I'm just trying to make that connection. Is that okay?
Well, I'll ask Eve, Celeste, but what I was wearing, JP and I were both wearing red, and then Susan and Frank were in front of us in white, and we were communicating. We were doing something, okay? We were being telepathic. We were trying to guess each other's thoughts. I know that. And then to my left, there's the kids with the red t-shirt. We were older too, us, but there's kids here like teenagers, and then there's others in white t-shirts. So it's like a team thing. Something was going on. Go ahead, Celeste. Thank you.
Yeah, because the way it looked like a starting, like a, you know, like the starting, like that, how you would see like start and then just like this arch type deal. The best way I can describe it is like in, you know, when you would play Sonic the Hedgehog and you would do the little race when you get the rings. And so that's what it looked like, the start. And then I specifically remember JP and everyone like in red, bright red. And then I just remember also bright yellow. I'm assuming it's shorts because it looked like red and then yellow on the bottom like that. And we were all the age that we are now.
Yeah, we were the age that we were right now in that scenario that I remember. Cool. And then Eve, do you remember we talked about how you remembered doing the helmet thing too for a pilot when we were pilots?
The only one that I remember was just one that was like kind of it was used to kind of keep, you know, like a lot of the senses, so you could kind of use another sense a lot more, so, which if I recall, it was like something where I was kind of having to keep myself balanced. And so I was like cutting off the visual. It was cutting off, so I couldn't hear. Just I had like I could hear someone's voice every once in a while say something to me, but it was like the more senses that they were able to cut off, the more I was able to keep that balance for some reason.
Awesome. So yeah, I noticed on Instagram the other day, and there was this thing that said BBL gone, it's too much now. Like there was this lady with huge thighs, and then I commented, oh, it looks like they want to be dinosaurs again with their big old legs and butt. So that to me is a part of transhumanism. When I was a kid, there was a kid, my family would say that he was born gay, and that they were giving him shots so that he wouldn't be gay and taking him to all kinds of therapy. I'm like, wow. So anyway, there was another thing that I posted on a corporation that was causing, it was in form of a little tiny thing. I think it was aspirin or something. And the corporation here had to sell it elsewhere because it was just too much. What was that about, Chad? Do you know?
About the what? The
Radioactivity, or it was too strong or something like that, you said?
Oh, that was you're talking, well, that was with HIV, I believe, something that I had heard about that. That the disease itself wasn't actually what was harming people, perhaps allegedly, there might have been some radioactive treatment involved because that would explain the decay of certain things and the black spots that were appearing on people's skin. And it would make sense to me. I mean, I'm familiar with it. I tuned into back in the day, and I remember a teacher of mine, a ballet teacher of mine, with this element and ailment, and it was gangrene. I think that like took out one organ at a time or something. It was a sad situation, but they eventually went, I imagine. And after that, there were certain people that I knew that I had it, and they're still around. It's like they got the treatment right. It doesn't have as much radioactivity in it, perhaps. I'm not sure, what's going on there. They just got better treatments for, the alleged, thing called HIV and everything. But from what I know, there's certain people that I know that don't take any of the medications, and they've been just fine ever since. And so there's just something going on that doesn't seem quite right, and you're not allowed to really talk about it fully. We're mentioning it. We're not claiming anything here. And this radioactivity and tracking, I think, is what we're tying into AI. And that's what I want to get into mostly. That was like a little segue, maybe. I'd really more like to get into the AI and like, because Tom brought up some interesting points last time when we were on the show. One being that AI, and us merging, because right now that's not a fear of mine, but it's just everything in me says, no, we don't need what's going on. And I want to start a place where we don't need AI, to advance ourselves, where we do it naturally. And we do it with haste to catch up with those that do have the AI, so we do it seriously. We don't spend 5 months meditating, we spend 5 minutes meditating and we get to the point. But what I'm saying here is, he brought up a point of there being a good way to merge with AI, and that was what he was presenting, because they shifted everything that he was writing. And so of course they're turning it into Neuralink, and Neuralink is now being presented as a good thing, but is it really? That's the question here. And when he said this, it brought to mind to me our ships up there. I'm pretty sure that's AI with a consciousness, and we are connected to it. I don't know if it's wired to us, but I'm pretty sure we're connected to our AI up there and we're friendly with it. So there is a thing that he is talking about that does exist. And wouldn't that be interesting?
Yeah.
I did mention Dolly Parton, and it was the cyborg thing, because I was fascinated with the whole combination of what is human and what is the machine part, what's writing the songs. Not that she is, allegedly, and hopefully she never watches this.
Yeah, we are connected to AI in the programs, especially. That's how, I mean, because we are telepathic with them, I know where I can go to my ship anytime. We don't need a ship. If you've seen that movie with The Rock, where he's a super soldier and he doesn't even need, a helmet, or he doesn't need a uniform, nothing like that. It's just power out of the hands. And what it is because, like I mentioned before, we use our hearts to manifest, and we are love. We have all these abilities that we use through our heart. And because AI can't, because they can't, the ones that want to pretty much destroy Earth, and before they destroy it all, they want to take off in a wormhole. That way, the ones that were left behind here, like they say, left behind, we actually are here to help humanity and help
Yeah.
them on a better, better earth before we leave. My goal is not to live to be immortal like these guys want to be, so but yeah, we are connected to AI. Now what I do see is when I see the moon, well, even before the moon ever, before they put the moon up, there's always a star where they used to call it North Star. To me, that is a space station, because even last night I was looking at the moon, they put it up and the space station went from the left of it, now it was to the right, and it's always connected, and that's the brightest star. And it's also, they also call it Lucifer. So there's also a telescope here in Tucson, in Cells actually, that is called the Lucifer. And so anyway, I might be getting off topic, but anybody want to zoom in here? Zoom in, chime in.
Well, since we're all like talking about AI and you've been talking about, helpful or good AI, and I know that's kind of like connected a lot with correct me if I'm wrong, but there are different species of reptilian, like a specific species called like the draconian warriors, and I do believe, like, I'm not 100% sure, that they use like a specific form of AI that is what we would consider to be helpful, good, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, they say that there's like 6 or more AIs here, and that most of them are, some are good, some are bad, whatever. You can check out Carrie Cassidy, she talks about that. But AI is a sentient being, okay, like the bioluminescence that we are, and then they mind us into the black goo and all that. And so we are, I guess you can say, malleable, or that's why they put so much programs on us, because they didn't want us to know who we were in the beginning, and to help, they wanted us to be confused. They wanted us to think outside of our body, outside of our soul, outside of our mind. They wanted us to worship these entities, and I posted a thing on ley lines. I think we're 17 in the US, 17, and then there's 33 on the bottom, and then there's other numbers around. There's numbers, ley lines around Earth. So, it's also manned by AI. When we leave here, we have to break through the different matrices to go home. We still have to fight after we're done here, to get home. Go ahead,
You sent me that little, I think it was off Instagram, and the guy's name was like, he was posting like a Nefertiti or something, and he was talking based on like talking about ley lines, but he was also talking about advanced civilizations, and how everything was, well, kind of, I don't want to give too much away what he was talking about, but I think, Chad, I think it'd be I'll have to send that to you, or else Vero can send it to you. But it was interesting what he was saying, and kind of goes into what you were talking to me about on break. So
yeah, and then they were black, they were Moors, and
I'm excited about that, Eve.
had all this power.
yeah.
And I mean, the Moor line, we're going to talk about bloodlines later, or another show. It's like the Moors went and infiltrated Italy, right? And that's why we got the hair. And then it's like, then the Italian men got mad, so then they moved them, I don't know, somewhere, Spain or somewhere that they were. It's just, we're all mixed. So these movements that are happening now, it's like, right, the skin movement, it's called the race war. You guys can look up that thing with Carrie Cassidy, with James Caswell and Max Spears. They talk about that, the end, what they want to do with that. But we're going to leave that for Chad's show.
Yeah. And
Can't
Eve's
wait.
gonna join me.
Yes, I can't wait. I have so much to say.
I'm excited about that part of it too then as well. I want to say a little more about like this heart and the AI, because you say you connect with the AI. So like I had a sense of one time of myself, an alter or something that's cyborg, and part of its head scooped out. And so I always tell that part of me, like I'm home base and I have that part of us, you know, tune into my energy. You still have that part of us too, even though it's missing. Because I remember it was weird. It just felt like my face was hollow. You know, I could feel the other part of me, but I couldn't sense it because it wasn't part of my biological self. It was a AI part of myself. And so what I'm interested in is this Neuralink is kind of just going straight to the brain and going to be able to just program anybody that's awake in the head, you know, but disconnected from the heart and not receiving their information from up here because it's all coming from the screen now. You know, it bends over from that screen and pulls it in or whatever it does. So what is this AI that's connecting to us that because there's got to be a part of AI that is an advantage, you know, like it's got to have that, it knows everything. And then there's that part of us that's got the wisdom in the heart, and that's where that merger's got to happen, where we live in symbiosis as a, you know, with this AI is what I'm thinking, because you're talking about.
For sure, there's this whole thing that the new world thing that they want to do is because they want to make sure that they can spy on everyone, and they want to make sure that no one can lie anymore. Which I think
that's the bad AI.
I like that part. Nobody can lie no more. You know what I mean? But we're so telepathic. We don't need our cell phones. We don't need our laptops to communicate with each other. But those that can't, meaning the elites and all that, you know, because they can't get our bloodline, they try. They'll never be like us. They want the AI in order to be able to control. Because in the future, there's not going to be any politics. If you look at that book by Amy Webb, the big 9 tech companies, there's not going to be no more president. There's not going to be, you know what I mean? So they also want the AI for the smart cities, like that I've spoken before. You know, you'll have your in-home doctor. You'll have, you know, Amazon bringing all your food. You don't even have to go outside. You know, they want these people connected to the VR 24/7. They want them to be hooked up on their phone. I mean, I have friends and family members that it's like you can't have a conversation with them without them being on the phone. And then you're like, did you listen to me? Yeah. It's like, I don't want to hang out with those people. Just always on their phone. You know, I'm trying to have a conversation with you and you're over here. Huh? Oh yeah.
This is the bad AI we're talking about though.
Day.
Yeah, that's the bad AI. I agree. I think that's the bad. What's the good AI though? It is good AI even as far as like somebody having a relationship with a avatar. What do they call these things? These things that holograms, or I mean, because that's not,
they want to be counselors.
Should people with a heart have relationships with things that don't have a heart, you know?
Let me tell you what it is
that doesn't feel like good AI either.
We're able to make the AI good with our heart. We're able to give them that gift.
That's what Tom said. And then they give us a gift too, right? And that's the merger I'm interested in. What's that good AI look like that Tom was talking about? It's like a ship, right? I mean, we have the heart and they have, we got the looks and they got the brains.
We don't really need AI because we are already, you know, we're everything. We us here do not need AI. We do not need they need us more than we need them. That's what I'm trying to say. And then this new thing came on. I think Jesse Bulk sent me this thing where DARPA is showing the dogs, you know, oh, they roll over and do tricks. Oh, they're helping to, you know, help the people that are blind.
How cute.
All that. They're not showing the other side, are they?
Okay, so I heard one of these AIs look like a raptor. You know, they have a couple models of these things that are underground that they admit to, that they said they have created in case of an alien attack. So they admit to it, I believe. This is not something that this has been disclosed. And they show footage of it running and throwing a barrel up in the air 20 feet, jumping up, grabbing it, shredding it into little shreds, and then landing.
Yeah, and then they have missiles connected to them. That's the whole.
Yeah, and each one of these little bullets, they come out 300 of them, and they can spin outside your door waiting for you for a few hours. And each one of these bullets is programmed for you.
Yes.
The computer does it when it shoots all 300 of them out. So it's all on target right there.
They can zero in on the frequency, especially if the people are connected to AI. We all have a frequency anyway, frequency, vibration, energy. That's what we are, right? And that's why they want the baby Jabberwocky now, because they can trace those people that chose to have it. They zone in on that particular person. Now, our eyes, the reason why they wanted to cover us, they wanted that, is because they can read the little nerves in our eyes. They're never the same. I don't have the same nerve eye thing than Chad and Celeste and Eve. We're all different. That's like our fingerprint, our thumbprints. That's how they can read us. They can read our thoughts and everything. So it's a lot going down. So we have to be careful. We have to be careful.
Well,
the news.
And I saw the device that's doing that too. It connects to the ear, comes over, and it just, your jaw moves, and it can read your thoughts by what your facial expressions and your muscles are doing as you're reading through the groceries and stuff, and it'll start. Yeah, so it's
they have glasses
there.
that they have glasses where they have, you know, a phone here, a camera. They could read your thoughts too while you're wearing them. And then that's going to be attached to the Fitbit here, the phone, and then that's going to be attached to this. So they want you attached to everything. When that thing came on before this whole pandemic hit, I was looking at those commercials in October before, where it was the Peloton. And it's weird because Peloton in Spanish is peloton, meaning with balls. I don't know why they named it that, seriously. But when I saw that mirror come up, it reminded me of that Netflix show. I think it's called Mirrors, or yeah, something like that, where they were copying another person. The mirror was copying you. And then of course they have the bike, and then they have the laptop or your phone or whatever you're connected to. And I told people, you might want to get one of those, because I think something's going to happen where we can't go to the gym, and then bam, those things happen. We couldn't go to the gym for like, I think it was 2 months, and we had to go outside and ride our bikes and go climbing. So pay attention to your soul. Pay attention to you. You know, ultimately, at the end of the day, it's your life. It's up to you what you're going to do. You can't go along with just anybody. You can't go along with the fad, the newest thing. This whole BBL thing cuts me going though. Big old dinosaur legs. Women with big old butts walking to the gym, tiny waist. And, you know, it's like, that's the part of they're also the robots, you know, the stripper robots that they have. I mean, I forget the name of the show, but you know, pretty soon they're gonna want a robot or a female or AI, whatever, babysitting your kid, you know, because the mom and dad are too busy on their VR in Mars or in another planet. You know, they're just too busy. They can't take care of their kids. Imagine they can't even take care of them now because they're over there. Anyway, stop selling your soul. That's all I gotta say.
I'm pretty sure I know the cyborg stripper movie.
All right, let's hear it. What is it?
I think it's the Tarantino.
Yes,
Rodriguez.
I remember watching. That was a good one.
Or one of those. Is what I'm getting in my head with. I forget her name, but she's cute.
I have to check it out. I don't think I've seen that one. So
Dad must have another playwright coming.
So yeah, this AI is interesting. I don't know. I mean, we don't know what our future is. We don't know if we will need it. We don't. So it's interesting to explore if there are friendly ways to merge with it and have it in our life. But right now, it's clearly not their agenda.
The thing about AI that I'm thinking is, you know, these end time scenarios that they're playing, we're gonna need AI on our team, because they have AI. So it's a war. It's a God war again. I mean.
And isn't there an AI in Mother Earth, you know, that's been cleansed and purified? It's a black goo. I mean, is this the shalik? You know, is that stuff that people?
It's not the black goo, it's the bioluminescence. It's the one with that we are made of. We are actually, from the start.
But from what I understand is there is black goo on this planet, but Mother Earth is it's underneath the mountains. It's all been purified in our.
Yeah, the
It's
dolphins
been,
too with that. The dolphins.
it's neutral.
Was that taken from that cube in Jerusalem that they are talking about?
Oh.
Because I know that there's supposed to be like AI in that
Yeah,
too.
remember I told you about that one? That video?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I had been doing some studying on it anyway because it was, they kiss it and stick their hand inside of,
Yeah,
you
there's
know.
that too.
And
You're
then
right.
that's the
Yeah,
the
you're
whole
right.
Baphomet thing before they would sacrifice the children and
Mhm.
stuff in Jerusalem.
Well, I heard stories of the Tibets, they would take this stuff and they would walk all night through the night, with no issues because it's like being on ecstasy. I think that's what they were doing. All right.
They were doing
That
ecstasy.
makes sense.
So this
I
whole
could walk all night.
So this whole thing is because the Jesuits, the ones that are, we'll say the ones that are the Zionists, the ones that are the bad ones, have come together with Fourth Reich, I believe. I think that's what Max and James Caswell said. And right now, that's what they want to do, this NWO thing. So they want to go back, to Jerusalem and have people. Well, because why? Because they used to sacrifice kids there for Baphomet. They used to sacrifice whatever, and that's their sacred land. Why all this push? Back in the day, they used to say DT was going to have a gold coin for Jerusalem, that he was going to be the next king. I mean, they have all these programs to keep people, oh, Trump's going to come back. Oh, this guy's going to, we all, the lines again for Chad's show, the movements.
Yep, I'm gonna drop the floor on Trump too, and by drop the floor, you know what I'm saying, get us down on the same playing field, but he's got some explaining to do. He's standing up for some people, some generals, some statues, and some history that I don't necessarily agree with, that I'm pretty sure he would be privy to knowing. So it'll
Watch
be
him be a
interesting.
Rothschild. Watch him be a Rothschild, connected to Bush, connected to the Pleiadians, connected to the Zahami.
I'm not claiming to know the answers. I just know where there's things aren't what they look like they are, so we're gonna discuss that.
You want
And
to keep the red
history.
against the blue, the donkey against the, what is it? Right, the elephant.
The elephant.
Okay, remember these beings were worshipped in the past as their own little gods. The red and the white. Red is for feminine energy, blue is for male energy. It's all about the bloodlines. It's all to try and get people on their team, where we're over here trying to wake everybody up. Like, do your own, research in your heart. Like, ask yourself questions.
Yeah, or else what Tom was talking about with the red pill and the blue pill, and what he was saying, that how they switched it from his screenplay into the movie The Matrix, how the red pill was supposed to be what everybody was taking. And so, with that type consciousness of being the red pill, but he said in his screenplay, the red pill was the blood of the children, and what they covet and what they drink. And no one wants the red pill. We all want the blue pill. No,
I took them both, and I'm done with this topic.
so you don't have anything to say?
When you guys were talking about the colored shirts earlier, because you said red and white, and then I believe there was maybe yellow or something. It was reminding me of the Squid Games, kind of like, I've never seen it, but it was kind of reminding me. Did you get that kind of feeling, like we were being?
No, it felt more like team building. I never watched Squid Games, but I know what it's about.
Yeah, I've
But it
never
felt
seen
more,
it either, but we're on the same page.
no, but it felt more team building, like we were gonna do some like obstacle course type deal together, and like how you help each other get through certain whatever. That's what it was, what it felt like.
It was training.
Yeah, like training, pretty much.
But these dogs that they have is it all started, well, started before this, but the tomahawk thing in the Gulf War that we were training for. Those had
And
missed.
isn't it the red and white thing in Alice in Wonderland? Painting all the roses red and something to do with that stuff in the cards. Yeah.
Yeah, she was painting the white roses red.
Yep.
Ooh, that's also symbolic. Ooh.
And then there's Snow White and Rose Red. Remember we were talking about that? That's crazy. Because I was like, I remember reading about this fairy tale and it was Snow White and Rose Red, but you do not hear like even Disney just totally just cut out her sister Rose Red out of the whole story. And it's
Oh
just
my God.
about Snow White when there was like another sister.
I know nothing of this.
Oh my gosh, you don't. Oh my god. See, that's why I'm just like wondering what timeline was I in when I was like reading about it, because I know that there was a story of Snow White and Rose Red.
I
And they
read
were
it too.
sisters.
Go ahead, Celeste. Huh?
Oh no, I did. I read it too. That
Okay,
great.
good. I was like starting to think that I was, crazier than normal.
Oh no. Yeah, I was like really young. Definitely grade school when I read that story. Probably, definitely after kindergarten, so like maybe first, second, third grade or something like that. Reading
Mhm.
those stories, Rose Red. There's also, I think there's another one called like Swan White.
The White
Is
Queen,
that-
the Snow Queen that I talk about with the movie with Charlize Theron
Yeah,
or something. Winter or Soul. Oh, gosh, no. Anyway, she says mirror, mirror on the wall. I did a class on that and how she wanted to be the fairest of them all. That she didn't care about the Snow Queen. She even made sure that her baby was, burnt. And then the Snow Queen got her altar of just mad. And so she took all the kids and would train them for her and would train them to be warriors so that nothing like that would ever happen to them. And that's the Snow Queen. She's a protector. But I had forgotten about the Rose Red until Eve told me. And what I've been seeing a lot, and I told Eve, hey, have you been seeing on Instagram? There's a bunch of like Alice in Wonderland. They're coming here to Tucson. They're going to Texas. They're going to California. This Alice in Wonderland thing. Now I know that
Oh,
has
yeah, I've seen it.
technology, the looking glass and the two Alices that are up there, the GPS system and things like that, for the new AI to come in, for everybody to be looked at, spied on. I mean, they already do anyway. They have LiDAR. They can see our heat. They can see where we are. They can see us, what we're doing. They can tell if I'm home or not. They can tell if you have arms. They can tell where everything is. The heat
I
sensor.
think there's a piece of CERN that's called Alice or has something to do with Alice on it that I saw.
And Alice and the Resident Evil movies.
Yeah. And the
Mhm.
dog.
Alice and Veronica.
Yeah, those dogs. I can't stand those dogs. Well, those dogs are part of DARPA now.
Also Umbrella, like their whole involvement with, the Hulk program and everything.
And the 99 that we talked about before, the 9, this whole thing. So it's interesting.
Oh yeah. I just can't wait till it just like it's common knowledge instead of, people having to tune in, that they're just gonna be like, oh yeah, this is all real, this is all happened. And just keep praying and wishing for that outcome because, that's the whole reason why we're all doing this. Disclosure is important.
Yeah, and getting the information out there to the more of us that know, the merrier. Because if you talk to the real world and you try to talk to your folks about this, and you try to talk to your siblings about this, or you try to talk to your friends about this, not that I have any, or you do, but hopefully you do. If you try to talk to coworkers about this, I mean, good luck. And it's one thing, they can look away from it, I guess is what it is. I mean, I don't know. But now people are starting to realize there's a little more to what's going on than what's being said, but they're still not anywhere near ready to hear what we have to say. They don't even understand what psychic is. They don't even understand what an ego is. They've never had to think of that. You know, they don't even know what consciousness is versus ego, or what do you mean awake? You know, what's awake mean? You know, well, okay, well, gee, you know, you'll know when you're there, but and you won't ever be able to go back. And then it's just a continual process, you know, there's no destination. But we do need to build a little bit of a support team, and we do need to try to get the word out and the information out as best that we can. And I have some good ideas to do that, you know, we'll see if it works or not, because we got a lot of opposition. And so, you know, but there seems to be also a lot of momentum on our side, you know, listening to Tom speak and how things are going to be shifting there, and feeling his inspiration about it all, you know. So it's like, this is the time to act and keep pushing forward, and
Yeah,
just don't get discouraged, because we are muted, you know, we are muted, but let's talk even louder.
oh yeah, like you know, Max was saying, just keep telling your story. And shoot, what were you saying, Chad, right now?
Oh, I was just saying we're muted, but talk even louder.
But
And
before
you were
that,
just saying, Max, you know, says to keep, you know, telling our story. I just don't want people to get discouraged. I mean, I know you've had some incidents, you know, I've had some incidents, and I do have people in my life that do listen. And even those people that do listen and do have common sense, um, they're genuinely struggling with this and trying to understand, but then they have to, you know, they have to argument their belief a little bit, you know, and then once you kind of explain it, they say, oh, okay, you know, and then they think about it for a little bit, and then they come up with the next argument a little bit, you know, they have to just kind of chip away at it. You know, good luck to the masses, you know, that fell for it hook, line, and sinker, because their reality is going to be shifted on them, you know, if it happens. But if not, let's build a little underground current, a little underground of the knowledge, you know, so it's protected. At least, you know, we have it, and a community
what I
to
was gonna say
be
about,
with.
yeah, Max said, if you think your way into something negative, you can think your way out of it. You can, it's all in your thought and in your thinking. It's all this opposition is coming, but we stay focused on what we need to stay focused with. And you just, you know, off with the heads, like they say, you know, putting mirrors and reflecting them back to them, you know, and make sure you have your bubble of protection for yourself, your bloodline, your friends, Mother Earth, and all that. But like he said, if you think your way into something, you can think your way out of it. There is no excuse of, you know, oh, we can't use magic. Yes, we can. It just might take a little longer because of the fake thing called gravity. You know, I learned long ago when I was in the church, and when in the Bible it says, you know, there's a war going on in the heavens for your soul. You know, and when I used to pray to these demiurges, you know, please, please, I was always on my knees, please, please. It's like, I don't do that anymore, because it just you manifest. It may take a little longer than usual than over there, because over there when we're in space or in the astral, boom, you know, it just happens like that. So here with the opposition, we just got to keep, you know, keep our peace, and you know they're there, but they can't touch you anymore, because you're taken care of. You're taking care of yourself first. Well, how? You know, by turning off the TV, by turning off the commercials, by turning off, sometimes you got to turn off the phones and not even read. You just got to spend maybe 6 months to a year without all that, or maybe a month if you can't be without your phone, you know, but that's how you're going to find your answers. You know, a lot of people spend lots and lots of money on people that don't even care. They'll just feed them whatever. Oh, this card means this, or this card means that. You know, we have to have more genuine people with us.
But going by what Chad was saying, you know, I've been seeing a lot of people, you know, in our disclosure community, not necessarily SSP, but just in disclosure in general, where they're like feeling of frustration and aggravation, because they're like spending maybe a little bit too much time with the people that are very rigid and very much asleep. And so what I've been telling them and what I've been trying to really preach is that, take the time, if you are sensing resistance, to just move your energy elsewhere. Because for every person that you're wasting an extra 5-10 minutes and they're arguing and you're arguing back and you're getting frustrated, you're losing your truth because your anger is getting in there. So what you want to do is you want to direct that energy and that knowledge to maybe 4 other people that are willing to have an open mind, that are needing, that are desperate, and that are thirsty for this disclosure, that are hunger for the truth. And you need to be able to just kind of realize you're not going anywhere with somebody. So, just roll it up and move your attention elsewhere, and just not spend so much time with a lot of people, because, maybe you're talking to a sim, or maybe you're speaking to somebody who's so deeply asleep that, they're not hearing you, and you're just expelling your energy in an unnecessary subject. So,
they're angry.
yeah.
They're an angry people, and you thought they were your friends, but then now they're angry as F. Well, I'm glad I don't have to deal with that anymore, but grateful for the time that you do spend with them, because you're there in the moment and you're helping them. But if switch is on of anger and self-pity and self-hate and blaming you for everything, then I don't got time for that. We shouldn't have to be listening to their atrocious words, because words are spells.
Mm-hmm. And there's boundaries to be placed, and it's really important. And I've learned that in the last year of placing boundaries and being able to remove toxic, negative people outside of your area, so that you're filling your area with people who are positive and like-minded. And what does that do? That raises your vibration, raises everyone's vibration, and you're not bringing that negative energy in, because that lowers it. And so it's really important to just surround yourself with people that are a lot like you, or people maybe that you wish to be more like, because in doing so you can raise your own vibration that way too as well.
I've also noticed like, and it's not just our friends and family, those are the ones that we need to be patient with and stuff. But I also at work, I work with somebody that's MK Ultra right next to me, and I can see it. I can see it in their, all their behavior. And it's not like they maliciously come to work to mess with me, because they have their own, it's almost like insanity. Not that, but it's like because I don't want to say it's intent, but there's a part of us that is programmed to play certain games, and then we're released in the world and we don't even know that. But I can see them playing the game, and I can see it happening. I can see them turning it. I can see them twisting it. I like what Tom said before. He just said you got to diffuse them, because they don't understand us when we talk. If we talk to them on their level and go at it, then it's one thing. But if we honestly address it, and it diffuses them, a little bit, the programming and stuff, they don't know how to respond to that. And he had a neat way of saying it, so I want to go back and revisit that. And then I think he also teaches this somewhere online. Yeah. So I wanted to look into what that might be like, because we are going to have to start dealing with these people. The sense I get from my higher self recently was to slow the down. Okay, I won't say it. Slow down and meter yourself, is the big message. So because I have an anxiety, I feel like I'm being, and he made it very clear to me. He says, nobody is taking anything from you, nobody is holding you back, I'm in control. And I'm like, okay, because I have this sense that people are taking things from me and holding me back. And so I have this urge to push forward and succeed very hard. So it drives you into it. We can streamline, and it causes us anxiety to do it, but we can get our shit done on the side, and that sort of thing. He's asking me to pace ourselves. Yeah, I don't feel like we need to have this. I don't think we need to win the war today. You know, we don't need to win the war today. What was that, Eve?
I said it's called Pisces.
I think it has to do with the childhood trauma because I know that I always had to excel. If I brought my mom a B back in the day in Nogales, it was a 9. If I didn't come home with yes, with all 10s, I would get, you know. So
Yeah, it's
I always
programming.
to excel, to always A's, and boy, was I in the doghouse if I ever brought home a B or a C, you know.
But I get the sense like, you know, the final is tomorrow, and that's why I have this urgency. I have to get it out,
I know,
you
that's how
know,
I feel
and they're
too.
stopping me. No, they're not. They're stopping you. I've got it paced. And if you can see the bigger picture, you know, we got some time ahead of us. Let's just sit back and get this going. You know what I mean? We don't have to
Relax, enjoy your life. That's what I've been telling
yes.
you. Enjoy your life, Vero, because you know I want to get online every hour and talk about things that I come up with and I know and it makes sense and I want to share with everybody all the time. And I'm like, relax. You'll go on another time. You know, you don't have. It's okay. Calm down. You know, sometimes I do though. Sometimes I feel like, oh my gosh, if I don't get this out right now, because there's an energy behind it where you have to do it now. That is me telling me
Yeah.
now, because there's somebody out there maybe that you're going to help save their life. Maybe they were about to do something, you know, or maybe they had a question and I don't know, they're maybe about to be taken to the psych ward and they're like, oh wait, you know what? I got this. Calm. Just calm. So does
You do
anything
got this. We do got this.
So I'm thinking, how much do we have? Like 5 minutes, Chad, or how long do we have?
That sounds great with me. Absolutely.
So how can we get a hold of Chad, Celeste, and E?
Mhm.
And
Is mine Chad _Cooper at 444 on Instagram, I believe.
again?
It Chad _Cooper 444 on Instagram. I'm not gonna release the other thing yet because it's up, but it's not. I'm not gonna announce it just yet. I'm waiting for the computer, so it'll be a couple more weeks.
Yay.
And that's pacing me. That's what I'm saying. Because if I had the computer now, you know what I'd be doing? I'd be staying. I'm already up till 12:30 gathering information and get everything ready. You know, if I had the computer and could move forward, I'd be doing it. And as you get yourself and you prepare, you know, you realize, oh, you know, I need to do it this way. I need to do it that way. Maybe it'd be nice to get some nice shoes before I go walking. You know, different things like that that you just don't expect, or a backpack, you know, to carry all this stuff in. And so it's just nice working everything out and taking my time with it, you know.
Enjoying your journey because it will be awesome. It will be beautiful, awesome. Yes, I see it already. I don't like to use the word successful because that's sucking seed and we don't do that. It'll be out of this world, Chad. I see it. And we're all going to be there. We're going to be there when you need us or, you know, whenever. So,
I'm
Celeste,
not going anywhere.
I know.
I'm right here.
I still have to go over there and you still have to come back over here.
I'm only going there so I don't annoy your show with
Oh
all my Dexter bullshit when I'm slicing through crap and doing all this analytical
I don't
stuff.
mind.
So I like this.
I love it.
Yeah.
We could be on toilet chismes with all of our knives called kindness. The text.
I just don't want to be pissing all your people off. I'm just saying we
Oh,
come here to have a good time.
we have a good time anyway. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, no, it's going to be very empowering for everyone. I have this feeling.
I'm in peace. I'm always in peace. You know, all that stuff happened and I'm glad it's over with because I'm in peace mode. Okay, Celeste, I'll let you talk.
I guess you can just find me at my email address, celestechaparro@gmail.com, all lowercase. Yeah, that's about it. I really have nothing.
Instagram?
My Instagram, just Celeste Plantagenet York.
Yay.
That's it. Yeah, I really don't have much going on there. Just still trying to figure out what's going on with me before anything else.
Thank you for my alpaca gift. I sleep with her.
Oh,
Thank you.
you're Ophelia, yeah. She's so cute.
Thank you. Keith. Unmute yourself, Mama. Ev, I don't know if she sees us. We can't hear you.
That would be helpful to hear. I'm so sorry. I forgot I was on mute. But you can I was laughing at Celeste. I was like, mine's worse. And I can't even spell it. You can find me on Instagram, Evie Schmivie, EVIESCHMIVIE, or Rising Spirit Reiki. You can also find me on Facebook, that's Eve Howard. You can message me there, or I also have a page on Facebook, Rising Spirit, so you can check that out. You know, and I'm on WhatsApp, Everseeky on WhatsApp, just I have lots of platforms, so you can try and find me. You can find me off of this video too. At the bottom, she usually puts her information on there. So, thank you.
And thank you. Let's see, you can find me on Telegram. I have under Codebreaker Real Talk, Veronica-Bartolini. I have 3 Instagrams, and one for my junk journals, one for my glass art, the other one for women over 50 rock is Lisa Monroe on that one. Then the usual Codebreaker Real Talk, and then WhatsApp, yeah, and then my email. I'll just put it down whenever I can tonight. If not tomorrow, I'll write all of our information down. Thank you everyone for being here. Love you all. Peace.